because we've been sitting around eating and drinking and watching TV, how do we train this part of our body? Very simple. I'm not a big fan of doing crunches. I'm more into rotation, and if you want some planking, but planking for a short period of time. You don't need to plank for more than 10, 15 seconds. So right now I'm going to use just our middle through rotation, which is what happens during function. So what I'm going to do is start with my hands out in front of me. I'm actually going to rotate this hip, turn that way, and focus on rotating my middle of my body to here. You're going to feel everything up and down your obliques, focusing from the ground up, hips and shoulders. So we can do both directions on this plane. Now we could change the plane by going up. You can separate the two by separating this way, and you'll feel a lot of core motion here. If you don't have any equipment at home, we need to do some pulling, and the best way maybe to do some pulling is to use just a towel, and you can wrap it around a door handle. Right now I'm going to just use one of my cable machines. You wrap the towel around it. I'm actually going to pull myself forward and then focus on pushing myself back, pulling myself forward, keeping my shoulders down and back, and pushing myself back. Pull, push. I break down training into 5 very simple motions or ideas. So we're pulling, we're pushing, we're lunging, we're squatting, and we're rotating. How do we do that in the house with no equipment? That's what I'm going to show you. Now let's add a lunge. A very simple lunge. Let's start with a reverse lunge where let's put your right foot back, and we're just going to maintain this plane just straight. Arms come up and then down. Very simple lunge. Let's start off with a very simple squat to start with. So we're going to start with our feet about shoulder width apart. And I want you to focus on using your hips to sit. A squat is not a leg exercise, it's not a quad exercise, it's a glute exercise. So we're going to focus on rotating our hips forward, pushing our butt back, and let's use our hand as a counterbalance. Now let's just start off with 10 of those. Now we're going to do a push-up. Well, push-ups can be done many different ways, but I like to think of a push-up as a moving plank. So if you were in a plank position, in a push-up position, holding a plank, you're going to move that entire plank just using your arms. You never need to let your arms get further past the ground than this. So I'm going to demonstrate real quick. Just come about to here and up. Now that we've done some simple motions, let's add a little bit of change to our standard movements. So we started off with a simple squat. So let's do a squat a little bit different, and let's add a little rotation to it. So let's go feet shoulder width apart. We're going to squat. On the way up, a small little turn. For core rotation, let's change it a little bit by going laterally. Last time we worked a little bit in the transverse plane, and we opened up a little bit. So we're going to take a step left, rotate. Take a step right, rotate. And let's add a little bit of turning to our lunge. So we're going to stick with the reverse lunge. And we can do this many different ways. But right now, let's go ahead and just do a simple rotation. We can either rotate to the outside of the lunge, if your left foot stayed forward, or to the inside. So let's do both. I'm going to rotate to the outside, rotate to the inside. For our push-up, let's go ahead and do this. Let's change our hand position. So instead of our hands being set like this, let's change it where one hand is slightly ahead of the other, and then the other direction. So it would look something like this. For the pulling motion, we're going to change it up just a little bit. So you're going to grab the towel with one hand, We're going to put our right foot forward, grabbing with our left hand. And as we pull, we're going to turn a little bit. Just a little bit.